this is my first official Wallaby League Racing commentate. I am new to the league, and I appreciate the opportunity that the boys here at Wallaby League Racing have given me. We'll get into it today with Tier 4 Racing. Should be a good one. As we start out, this is the short qualifying one for the sprint race. As we wait to see how everyone goes. In the Mercedes today, we have Zachary and Felsi. In Ferrari, we have Batman and Cuds. Alpine, we have Arthur and V-Sept. In the Aston Martins, we have Nazi and Ollie. In the McLarens, we have Rabbit and Vettel. In the Red Bulls, we have Kirko and Wolves. In the Williams, we have Pajala and Goffey. In the Visa RBs, we have Mr. J Swell and CLM. In the Kit Cars, we have The Cub and... Ooh, where's the other one? And Almighty Gob. In the Hasses, we have Orb and War Machine. Oh, we've already got people coming up on the outlaps. Let's get it. Hopefully it's fun for me. Thank you, Bombs. How are we today? Get some of these drivers on their outlaps. Get some of their telemetries on the screen. See all these people on the track today. Already got a caution on Sector 1. Who is that? Someone in a... This is the Red Bull. It was Mr. Swole. Was parked up against on the corner of... Turn 6. Ferrari on top, Bombs. You got your hypes on for today? Hey, Bombs. My name is Break or Braden. You can call me either one. I'm new to the league. Here for my first time. As we get most drivers out on the track for their first outlaps of the race. Am I going to be on comms for T3? I'm not sure yet. We got Arthur on his first lap of the race, currently going through Sector 1 on the medium tyres is what he's gone out with in the short qualifying. Let me know if any of the sound is stuffed up or something like that. I'll fix that one for you. Arthur coming down the second straight on this track. Sounds a good? Cool. Thanks, mate. As I come out, we've got V-Sept putting on the first lap of the race with a 1:28.06. Chevy Wolves not far behind, hitting a 1:28.1. Combo Ollie coming in with a 1:28.042, only 2/10ths of a second. 4/100ths of a second. My bad. My brain is not working today. And Wolves 15/100ths of a second just behind. Everyone else is coming out for their main laps now. A lot of cars on track. Caution in Sector 3. Looks like an Aston. Couldn't switch in time. That's all good. We'll continue to watch Arthur set his lap as he comes through with a purple Sector 1. currently the fastest on the first sector. We got Cuds putting in a 128.5 and Pajala putting in a 129.3. So not the fastest they could be, but there's still time in this. As we come through the high-speed bends towards the middle of the track. Arthur coming through, high pace through those corners. Now, we still have a McLaren in the pits. Both asses have just come out for their outlaps. Arthur's coming to the pits, didn't even set a lap. Alright. Oh, wrong buttons. We go through who's on the outlap at the moment. We've got Felsi in the Mercedes coming down the main straight at the moment. Looks like he's letting someone pass. He's not on a lap right now. That would be the Ferrari of Cuds, who's currently setting a new lap. Everyone put your hopes and dreams in the chat, who we think is going to take podium and pole for both races today. We've already got Bomb in here saying Ferrari on top. Currently watching it Cuds. As he comes down. No change in, yeah. Batman coming in with a 129.4. Zachariah with a 130.2. We have Kirko with a 132.4. And Felsi with a 145.8. Must have just pulled out of his lap. Sept has just come out for his another out lap. Trying to improve on his time from before. Ollie and Wolves in the pits. Cud's currently on a hot lap. Trying to improve on his time as well. Who was that? Just put a time in. Cub with a 129.1. A CLM with a 128.9. Almost 129. Only 5/100ths of a second behind Almighty God, who just put at 128.9. As most cars are putting in their first laps right now, Pajala and Goffey both with 129.2s and 3s. Need another invite, Vettel. Be set for pole, I reckon. Okay, Maxi boy. Batman OB podium, definitely maybe Cuds as well. Easy. Cub going to win for sure. The GOAT. Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Break or Braden. You can call me either one. The boys have given me an opportunity to com this race as the new Tier 4 commentator. Also a reserve driver for T4, but tonight I decided to get on the mic. Anyone on a hot lap right now? Most cars are coming back into their pits, maybe changing tyres. There's only 3 minutes left. We'll see who comes out for a last second run. Is it crisp? Good. I was hoping it was better than it sounded in my ears. Now, Felty Rabbit coming out for his first lap, first hot lap. We'll run him through. Takes it nice through the first sector of this track. All he needs is a good out run here. Or a little bit rear end torque there. Coming down the first major straight and major DRS zone of the track as he comes through these medium speed corners and around the really long hairpin. Now he hit the first high speed non-DRS zone coming down the back straights. Straight. It's actually a mixed track right now. Then we got Sept putting in times on softs. Ollie putting times in. He's just swapped to the mediums. He's on an outlap on those mediums. Chevy Wolves doing an outlap. Currently on the softs. Both Ferraris on the softs today. Both kicks on the softs. Both RBs are also on softs. You've got a Haas on the mediums and a Mercedes on the mediums of Felsey. Everyone else seems to be on softs for this run. Alright, there's Felty Rabbit. Did he put on a time or was that his outlap? I didn't see. All good. Neither McLaren has put in a time for this. There's a minute 28 left on the clock. If they don't come out now, they will not have a chance to get everyone coming in for their final laps now. Goffey seems to be out of the session. Not sure what happened there. Sorry about that, guys. Nasser just retired from the session. So we have Sept on his final run of the final lap. You got Combo Ollie trying to fight for first place right now. Currently on his final lap of the race. Mr. Swell on a lap, outlap. Chevy with a 127.9 coming out on top of Sept, sorry guys. Now, Combo Ollie currently not quite on the pace. Arthur's coming in for his final lap. 20 seconds to go. Oh, I think he's balled out. Arthur is 6th at the moment. Cautions in sector 2 and 3. It must just be drivers slowing down. Almighty God putting in his final stint of this race. Also with Rapid coming in. Felty Rabbit seems to just be cruising through here right now, so he's done for this day. War Machine left the session. Restless Orb on his last lap. He better make it a good one because he has not set a time yet. The McLaren sitting at the bottom. Everyone putting in their final laps as we see. Sept currently on a hot lap. Coming through the last DRS zone with his teammate in front. Looking for that toe. As we come through the final section of this track right now. Almighty God with a 127.8 to put himself on top. And Sept can't get a better time. As everyone just makes their final laps in, we can go through the final standings of this the qualifying positions of the sprint race. My screen was doing something weird. Oh, yours was War Machine. All good. Cards has finished his Batman. Last man on the track is Mr. Rabbit. Most people have pulled back into the pits. Don't think he's going for a hot lap here, guys. As it stands, we have Almighty Gob starting at pole position. Chevy Wolves next to him at the front of the grid. In second row, we've got Sept and Ollie. Third row, Cuds and Mr. J Swole. Fourth row, Orb and Arthur. Nice little mix of teams there between Kick, Red Bull, Alpine, Aston, Ferrari, Haas, and Visa. In the fifth row, we have Batman and Pajala. Sixth row, CLM and the Cub. Seventh row, War Machine and Kirko. Eighth row, Goffey and Rabbit. Ninth row, Feltzy and Nutsy. And at the back, Zachary and Vettel, who sadly did not set a time. Now, as everyone comes back into the pits, we get this started today. It's only a 9-lap sprint race and a 50% race on this track today. It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. And there we have it. And there is your lineup for the start of the sprint race at Silverstone tonight. Kick on top with Chevy Wolves. With Gob and Chevy Wolves at the front. And I already named everyone. Everyone said some good pace times. This is going to be an interesting race. Not much in it between the top drivers. Now, excuse me for this one, boys. Just going to pull up the standings for you so I can tell you where everyone sits at the moment. There we go. Now, as we wait for everyone, I will act like the blind leading the blind, because that's what I am at the moment. Hello, what now? My name is Break. Welcome. Oh, and we're off. Didn't even give me a time there. Almighty Gob taking the best start for everyone else. VSEC overtaking Chevy Wolves to start the race. Ollie, everyone. Oh, crap. What happened in the back here? Chevy Wolves. It's all the way at the bottom. He's ghosted. Something's happened at the front of the grid. He's gone all the way to the back. Caution on Sector 1. No safety car as of yet. Almighty Gob at the top. VSEC in second. Ollie in third. Cuds all the way up to fourth. Swollen fifth. Both Williams 6th and 7th. Cub in 8th, Batman in 9th, and Vettel in 10th. Vettel goes really wide out and loses 4 positions down to 13th. The fight at the front is really close. We got Seps trying to get up on Ollie. Does he get the inside line? He does. Is he going to be able to overtake? Almighty God taking the outside line over track limits. He might have to give that position back, not sure. But there is a fight for first, second, and third at the moment. There's a very close top 5. There's a massive gap between 5 and 6 at the moment. DRS will be enabled after this lap, and it seems that the top 5 have created such a gap that this is going to be an interesting top 5. Batman and Cubs having a fight down here at the back here, going back and forth, side by side. Ferrari and Kick coming into the last section of the race. Ferrari gets in front. Kick trying to hold on to the Alpine as the Alpine and the RB go side by side. Everyone's fighting all the way at the back of the grid. Multiple people. Ooh, 2 people in the pits. War Machine and Vettel in the pits. Possible damage. I'm not sure what's happened here unless they're going for a quick change. Yeah, wing damage for both. They've put their new wings on. They're coming back out now. It's a close one here between Cuds and Swole, and it's a swap. Cuds gets in front. They're fighting for it through these tight corners. Almost 3 wide. Ferrari and Visa coming through right now. Fighting hard side by side. No contact yet. As we come towards the second straight through the fastest sector of this track. It's a close one here on the top 5 today, guys. Restless Orb retired from the session. Must have had too much damage on that Haas of his. Has elected to stay out of this race. Now Cuds and Swell still going at it. The Ferrari, the RB and the Williams all fighting on the main stretch down pit road. Very, very close racing. Very, very tight racing. We've also got Sept and Almighty God are fighting at the front. We're up to a third out of the 9th lap. We got caution in Sector 2. It's Vettel again, who's all the way at the back, not sure what's happening here. Watching this, the 2 starting cars have put a 2-second gap on everyone else. This is going to be a Sept versus Almighty God for most of this race. As I said before, Ferrari, RB, Aston Martin, the 3 teams fighting for 3rd, 4th and 5th right now is very close. It is very clean. I'm interested to see what happens here. Currently looking at Combo Ollie as we come around these final bends of the fast sector. Of Sector 2. They're getting a nice Arthur Sept with a 3-second penalty for track limits. It is now a four-man race between... Oh, slight contact here with the Aston and the 2 Williams cars. Everyone seems to be catching up to everyone. Very, very close racing at the moment. We'll go down to the middle of the field where we have Arthur, who's just been given a 3-second warning. Same with Felty Rabbit. Track limits. Need to keep all 4 tyres on the track. Minimum 2. Guys, otherwise you will see those 3-second penalties. You've got the 2 Red Bulls here fighting each other between Kirko and Wolves. As a slight lock-up by Wolves still brings him out as he's pushing towards that Mercedes of Feltzy. We'll get on the onboard. Goffey in the Williams done for track limits as well, as he's still fighting with his teammate, also with the Aston of Ollie Cuds and Mr. J Small in the RB in the 3rd to 7th position, where it is within 1.5 seconds of each other. The fight going on here between Aston Martin and Williams at the moment, as we come into the final turn of lap 4. Into the first corner, high speed, throwing those cars sideways, back and forward. There's Pumpkin. Slight little lock up by the Aston Martin, but he's closing in. Oh, losing the rear a little bit there. He's closing in on Pajala. And it is going to be a Williams versus Aston for the majority of this race. We still... Oh, Sept has overtaken Gob and is making pace here. As we go back side by side, this is an interesting fight between Pajala and Ollie. Nice, clean racing. Both Williams and Aston Martin coming down into Sector 2. War Machine just being hit with a 3-second penalty as well down at the bottom there. As we enter the second half of this race. Oh, Vettel with another 3-second warning. Not sure what's happening at the bottom at the moment. He seems to be racing on. McLaren not having a good day with Felty Rabbit and Vettel at the bottom. Nutsy, the Aston Martin second driver, all the way currently at 17th. We have Kirko at 15th, trying to catch up to Feltzy. Just outside DRS range, but that won't matter because there is no DRS on the main straight. We have Feltzy trying to catch up to Chevy Wolves at the moment in the Mercedes. Chevy in the Red Bull car. Currently ahead of Arthur with that penalty, but fighting to get up the grid. You got Arthur at 12th, the Cub at 11th, Zachary at 10th, Batman at 9th, fighting with CLM at 8th, Goffey at 7th, Combo Ollie and Rapid Bajala all nearly neck and neck coming out of the long medium speed hairpin. You got Cuds and Mr. J Swole coming down the second major straight. Vettel is retired. Vettel's out of this race. Is it going to cause a safety car? Is he going into the pits? He's into the pits. He's retired from the session. He's come out. You got Almighty Gob in second and VSEPT, who has put a 2-second gap. A 2-second gap on Almighty Gob for first place. There is caution on Sector 3. Has he made it off track? Yes, the McLaren should be in the pits, but I am not entirely sure. I will go back to Sept to see if that is the case. The McLaren is coming out of the pits even though it's retired from the session. I'm not sure what's happening there. But he should be placed off the track coming out of the pits. Yep, there's the McLaren off the pits. Everyone with the yellow flag is gone. They are off the track. There is nothing to worry about. Cool. Go back to Goffey, Ollie, and Pajala, who are currently fighting for top 5. As we hit the 7th lap of this 9-lap race, this still could be anybody's race. Big fights coming out of Ferrari and RB, Aston and Williams at the moment. As we see CLM with a massive overtake on Goffey, putting him into 7th place, splitting the fight between Aston and Williams and putting himself up there with the top drivers of this session. Batman coming up and taking over Goffey as well. That puts Ferrari into 8th and 4th. Goffey losing pace here, but he's trying to get back in front of the Ferrari. Takes the inside line. Ferrari takes the lead there on that battle. Close one here between Pajala and Ollie as we come through the very fast first sector of Silverstone. Will he get close enough? Is he going to go for it? We watch and we find out. It is a very tight race in the forward pack at the moment. As Pajala gets back in front of Combo Ollie. We come around the hairpin. It is almost neck and neck between these two at the moment. They are at each other's throats. Nearly a 3-second gap here between Gob and Sept. Mr. J Swole are in 3rd, fighting with Cuds in the Ferrari. Half a second between. Everyone looking to score as many points as they can today. Williams, RB, and Aston Martin fighting for this one in the mid-pack. Batman's coming up on the RB closer and closer every single corner. As we have CLM, Pajala, and Ollie all fighting here for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Cuds gaining on Mr. J Swole up the main straight. As we see every single corner is just cutting at that time. Last final lap of the race. We got Sept in 1st, Almighty Gob in 2nd, J Swole in 3rd. Cuds trying to get in front of J Swole here for 3rd, currently in 4th. Combo in 5th, Pajala, Non-Stop, VSC, all fighting for 5th place at the moment. Goffey in 9th. Zachariah in 10th, the Cub in 11th, Arthur in 12th. Not sure if those penalties are going to push him down, but we'll see. The Red Bull Chevy Wolves currently in 13th with Feltzy on his back. Felty Rabbit currently sitting in 15th, Kirko in 16th, the Aston of Nazi in 17th, and War Machine in the house at 18th. As we come down the final main straight, Sept coming out of this DRS zone where Cuds is catching. He's on the outside. He can't make the attempt at the overtake just there. As we come in, Seb's coming around the final corner as he wins this sprint race. Almighty God coming in second. J Swole and Cuds making it tight. And then third and fourth, J Swole and Cuds in fourth. What a tight race. Combo Ollie coming over the track in fifth. Pajala non-stop. And Batman coming over the line 6th, 7th, and 8th. Cub and Zachary coming over the line there 9th and 10th. Goffey in 11th. Arthur coming over the line in 12th. Chevy just behind coming through. Pushing Arthur down 2 spots into 14th. Batesy at 13th. Arthur in 14th. Kirko in 15th. Rabbit in 16th. Nutsy coming over in 17th. And War Machine, who's just coming through his final lap now. A very well done race by everyone on the field. Very tight. Top 8 fighting meticulously for those points. As we watch Mr. War Machine come through the final segment. Oh, lifting that car. Almost turned it into a plane. As he comes around the final corner of the race to finish the sprint. And that is the sprint race at Silverstone. Next we have the full race. And there are your final standings for the British Grand Prix sprint. It was a tight one. It was a war. Alpine at the top, kick in second with Almighty God. The RB of J Swole, the Ferrari of Cuds, the Aston of Ollie, the Williams of Pajala, the RB of CLM, the Ferrari of Batman. Cub in 9th with the kick car. Zach in the Mercedes taking 10th. There are your top 10. Got damage, that's not your pace. Yeah, I understand that. I was watching. We watched the damage happen, War Machine. We understand that. As we hit qualifying for the main race, I will be back in 2 seconds. Just need to grab myself a drink while we wait for everyone to get ready. This is Wallaby League Racing. Nani79, thank you for the follow. Here we are at qualifying 1 of the British Grand Prix Tier 4. These are your Tier 4 drivers of the day. As you see on the left, we've got Zachary in a Mercedes, Batman in the Ferrari, Arthur Sat in the Alpine, Mercedes of Feltzy, the McLaren of Rabbit, Aston Martin of Nutsy, the Red Bull of Kirko, the Kick Sauber of Cub, the Ferrari of Cuds, the Kick of Gob, the Alpine of Sept. The two Hasses, Restless Orb and War Machine, didn't have the best start to the sprint race, but who knows, we might see a Haas come back today. Ollie in the Aston Martin, Vettel in the McLaren, Wolves in the Red Bull, Pajala and Goffey in the Williams, and CLM and J-Swol in the RBs. Looks like we have Mr. Almighty God coming out on his fast lap. So watch him come through on the soft tyres. First lap of the session. Set the pace for the rest of qualifying today. See Rush coming through starting the second sector as he comes down the main straight. 303 k's an hour on that one. As he comes around the high speed corners, hitting the fast chicanes for a sweet right-hander to come in, taking the fastest sector 2 of the session so far, hitting a massive 324 k's an hour before coming around this fast right-hand bend. Before he hits the brakes, it comes down right down into the fast left-hand then right-hand turn towards the main straight. As Sept comes in with a 127.6 just in front of him, Almighty God, but with a 128. Jerome on 74, thank you for the follows. Welcome to Wallaby League Racing. Non-stop CLM with a 128.4. Most cars on that. Chevy Wolves in the Red Bull with a 127.665. 6 thousandths quicker than Sept at this point in time. Caution on Sector 3. There's a car stopped on track. Not sure who that is. It is the Haas car of War Machine, parked up towards the last sector of the track. Everything seems to be okay. Might have just letting people past. But here he goes now. He's going on his first lap of the session. VLT Vettel in the McLaren doing a 127.5. Just watch everyone on their slowdown laps. Seems to we have Nutsy on his fast lap. Currently low on his ERS. He's got no energy in his tank. Not sure if that's just a spectator's glitch. But we'll see. He's coming through Sector 2 right now towards the fastest corner of the track. Caution in Sector 2. Not sure what that one's for. No one stopped on track. As we come out of the fastest parts of this track, we see Nutsy coming in, DRS full wide open as we come in to the final sector of the track. Slightly off the pace the rest of this track, but that's right, he gets green in that straight. As we come, he's straight into the pits. He wasn't even flying. It's got none. We have, who are we looking at right now? CLM going for his second attempt at top lap. As it currently stands, we have Vettel with a 127.5 in pole. We have Chevy Wolves 127.6 currently in the pits. Sept at 127.6. 7 just behind Chevy Wolves. Almighty God 127.6, and everyone else putting in 128s from War Machine, CLM, Cuds, Batman, Felty Rabbit, Nutsy, Goffy, Kirko, Cub, and Ollie, as they're just going to keep swapping positions. Caution in Sector 3. Not sure what happened there. I believe that was just a Haas letting someone by. As we watch CLM currently on his fastest lap, a whole 1/10 of a second quicker than his previous lap. As we see Sept hit a 127.1 coming through and stealing that spot from the McLaren and Vettel. We have CLM hitting the final sector of this lap, currently above pace. Will he go up a position? will, putting himself in 5th place with that 127.9, making him the 5th driver of the day to hit 127 seconds. Caution in Sector 1 as we see CLM go off the track. Not sure what happened there. Might have been a lock-up. Unless he's just trying to get out of the way, but he is clearly driving off the track there. Anyone else? Oh, wrong button. There we go. Paul Cobb, who's currently not on a fast lap. Try and find someone on a fast lap right now. Mr. J Swole just come back into the session. He's coming down the second main straight towards the fastest sector of the track, Sector 2. As we see him hit 300 Ks before coming into the first heavy right-hander, left-hander, background on a fast 200 k an hour turn towards the first DRS zone as he opens that up and powers down with the overtake active 328 Ks an hour coming into the fast right-hander towards turn 15. As we hit turn 16 all the way down to 120 Ks, so we take it wide out towards the main straight. And the start as he puts himself in 6th with a 128.15. Vettel also beating his last lap right now. I don't know if he's on a hot lap right now, but he's at a 127.2. Chevy Wolves also on a hot lap coming through now as he gets down Sector 1 and also putting down a slightly better time than before. Purple Sector 1 as we see Vettel going to the pits. He pulled out. What happened to Chevy? I think he spun out. Caution on Sector 2. Caution on Sector 2 as whoever's behind him. Let's send past Mr. J Swole, who is just on a cooldown lap at the moment. Anyone on a fast lap right now? Hot lap of Goffey, currently sitting at 129.6 as he makes his way through the first sector. Comes around, green on those corners. As he comes down towards the second main straight, DRS wide open. Massive speed coming down this straight as he hits the elite left-hander, takes the apex perfectly, comes around the track, holds his car. Great, no slip-ups, nothing. Perfection out of those corners. Comes down the second main straight. No DRS on this straight. As we come around one of the fastest corners on this track, 280 Ks an hour. As we come through the fast bends of Sector 2. Oh. I think Goffey track limits, invalidated time. Unfortunate for him. But we have Combo Ollie, who's currently sitting at 136, which means he didn't do a full lap. Currently pushing through 117 on the board at the moment. Green Sector 2. As we come through turn 16, 17, and now 18 towards the front straight. It's Combo Early putting a 128.5 on the board, putting him in 13th place. Mr. J Swole currently on another fast lap, coming through the fast sectors of the track. As we hit the second and final DRS zone, he will open that back up. Purple Sector 2 for Ollie. Currently up by 0.8 of a second. As we hit 15 at 250 Ks an hour, he pushes down the main straight. Alex takes that corner nicely through 16, 17. Back around the corner, he's on pace for this in a 127.6, putting him in 3rd position, Mr. J Swell. With 6 minutes left on the clock, it's still anybody's game. We got Sept out on top with a 127.1, Vettel with a 127.2, only for less than 3/10 of a second, 300ths of a second, sorry, between them two. Mr. J Swell coming out with a 127.6, 300ths behind them is Chevy Wolves. And 2 100s behind him is Almighty God. Very close one there. Finishing the 127s is Non-Stop CLM, who is sitting at a 127.9, sorry. As we watch them, everyone coming into the pits to see what everyone else is doing. Currently, it stands as Sept on pole, Vettel in second, Swole in third, Wolves in fourth, Gob in fifth, CLM in sixth, War in eighth, Zachariah in seventh, putting a faster lap in there. Batman in ninth, Pajala in 10th, Cuds in 11th, Orb in 12th, 13th is Ollie, 14th is Set. is Arthur, 15th is Cub, 16th is Rabbit, Nutsy in 17th, Goffy in 18th, Felsi in 19th, and Kirko currently sitting at 20th, he's in the pits. I don't believe Arthur is on a fast lap right now. I'm currently sitting with his ERS set to none. Who we got here? Felty Rabbit on his fastest lap, coming through to sector 2 now. Might be getting a tow here from... Oh, who was that up to? Rabbit trying to get a tow from the Aston of Combo, as all 3 cars of the DRS wide open down the back straights as we hit corner 15 at high speeds of 240 k's an hour. Coming through corner 16 now, 17th, and then 18th towards Dingsy. Oh, it clips the curb, jumps the car. Could that be costly for Rabbit's time? Yes, as he pulls out and stuck, still in 16th place, only just with 2 100ths of a second behind the pace. Cud's coming into the pits now. Who else is on a fast lap? Here comes Arthur as he hits a green sector 1. Oh, sorry. Yellow sector 1 is only 5 100ths behind the pace. He could still make up that time on any other part of this track. Currently sitting in 14th. No other changes at the moment other than Combo Ollie coming into 6th. CLM pushed to 7th. Zachary at 8th. War Machine at 9 and Batman at 10. Pumpkin is in chat. As we see Arthur coming down using all of his ERS, coming down through turn 15 right now, and currently seeing 270 k's an hour, fast, heavy braking into turn 16 and 17, just keeps that car on the track and pushes himself up into 13th place, or pushing the Hasser versus Orb, the Cub, Felty, Nutsy, Goffy, and Kirko to the bottom. Now, it seems to me Vettel is on for a fast lap. I think my screen says red. He might have been validated, but I am not sure. We'll find out in a quick second. T3 backwash tsunami. Coming into the pits is Vettel. Must have validated that lap. We have Almighty God who's coming through into the second sector right now on his chance. With a minute 34 left, this might be his last chance to put a good impression on this. Ollie's retired from this session with a 127. He believes that is fast enough to keep him on the third part of the grid, third row, as everyone else is starting to do their outlaps right now. Batman got his thing set to hot lap on his outlap. Oh, coming through now. Here we go. Hits his overtake button as he comes through the first corner. We'll watch Batman take this lap. as he comes through the first high-speed corner at 280 k's an hour. Coming through turn 2 and 3, a heavy slowdown around here, bringing the cars down to 100. Turn 4, as we hit the first DRS of the track, the hangar straight. With that DRS wide open, ARS on hot lap, he hits the 312 k's an hour as he comes round the S-bend of turn 7, 8. Coming round to the second straight. No DRS on this straight, but it's a very, very fast part of this track as he comes round through the fastest turning parts of any track on the F1 calendar. Big 260 k's an hour through there. Doesn't miss a beat. Currently half a second on better than his previous lap, hitting a purple sector 2 through there as we come through turn 15, 260 k's an hour. See how well he does coming through turn 16, 17 here. Perfect, apex, and as he come round, this is Batman putting himself in 6th, ending there. Vettel still stayed in the pits, currently in 2nd. Everyone else still on their fast laps right now. We'll take a look. CLM currently coming down into the second and only the second DRS zone of this track towards corner 15 as the other cars let him by. Multiple cars coming down towards the end now. We got the Williams of Bajala also on a hot lap coming around the last corner. CLM putting himself in 4th, both RBs 4th and 5th at this time. Almighty Gob in 6th. Who's coming over the line now? Coming into the pits is Goffey, going to keep himself at 19th. There is still a Ferrari on track. That Ferrari is Cuds as he comes around the final corner, putting himself all the way up into 10th position, straight into the fifth row. As it stands, we have Sept in first, Vettel in second. Sept taking pole, mind you. Fastest lap, 127.195. Chevy Wolves in the Red Bull in third. Both RBs up in the top 10 at the moment. Blocked me, but I cost myself the extra time. CLM and Swole, the RBs 4th and 5th. Almighty Gob in the kit car in 6th. Ferrari, Batman in 7th. Mercedes, Zachary in 8th. Ollie in the Aston in 9th and Cuds in 10th. Pajala in 11th. War Machine in 12th. The Cub in 13th. Arthur in 14th. I will get the rest of them in a second. Then we have Orb in 15th. Felsi in 16th. The Aston of Nutsy in 17th, McLaren's Felty Rabbit in 18th, Goffey in the Williams in 19th, and Kirko in the Red Bull in 20th. Now, I believe there were a couple of invalidated lap times through here. Yes, just a few. That just shows how little room for error that we have on this track right now. As we head into the race of the Tier 4 Grand Prix at Silverstone. It's going to be an interesting one. It is only a 50%er, 29 laps. 180 k's worth of racing. Is going to be interesting to see the strategies. It's going to be interesting to see the fights. As we saw in the 9 laps of our sprint race, we had the top 8 consistently fighting for the whole 9 laps. There could be crashes. There could be great fights. We might see a Hamilton versus Verstappen moment. No one knows. I'll try to get my best in on all the action. Try to make myself sound as interesting as possible for you guys. as we wait for everyone to ready for this next race. While we wait for the lobby to open, I will be back in 2 seconds. As soon as I called that, we got taken to the next screen. It's going to be an interesting day here at Silverstone. Also, while we're here, all 23 of you in the chat right now, place your non-existent bets on the Singapore Grand Prix of tonight. Only 3 hours until lights out. Not sure what's happening here today, guys. I believe there might be a couple of connection issues, but never mind. Lights out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lights out, and away we go. Everyone, someone here. Arthur with a great start. Not sure if it was a jump start. Felty got a jump start as well. There's light touches in the back row here. As we got Septi, Fettel, Arthur coming into third. Got a penalty. He jumped the start. That's okay. CLM in fourth. Chevy was in fifth. It's going to be a great fight through the first section of this game, of this race. As everyone is side by side down the first straight. We have Pajala at the back. Not sure if he has damage. Might be retiring from this race. Put himself into the wall. Pajala definitely had damage. He has put himself out of the race. Safety car has been activated. Everyone slows down. First lap of the Silverstone Grand Prix. And we already have a safety car. Multiple jump starts here. With 2 drive-through penalties of Arthur and Feltzy, both cars jumping the start. Most drivers here opting for a medium tyre, except for the McLaren of Vettel and the Red Bull of Kirko, who is on the softs and the hards. Now, this is a 29-lap race. We might see softs to hards. We might see mediums to softs. There could be any number of strategies that they have today. Will the tyres last that long? Will there be drama in the grip of these cars as we come through, finish the first lap under safety car? Zachariah coming into the pits as I'm hitting the wrong button. Not sure if he has damage. Kirko also out of the session, hitting the pits. Almighty Gob hitting the pits. There must have been contact in the midfield. Both teams changing wings as we see Almighty God getting a double wing setup. But we are under safety car as we come through the first straight. As it stands, Sept. Oh, wrong button. Position change. Sept and Vettel keeping their positions at first and second non-stop, coming up his first, up one into third. Arthur Sept with the jump start with a drive-through penalty, but up into fourth. Chevy Wolves losing 2 positions at the start of that race, coming down into fifth. Batman coming up a position into sixth, Cuds into seventh, putting the 2 Ferraris next to each other in sixth and seventh. Thank you, Mr. Mandir, for the follow. Putting Nutsy coming up 8 whole positions into 8th place, bringing him up from 16th. Restless up 5 from 14th into 9th. Cub in 10th, Ollie down 2 positions into 11th. Mr. J Swell down 7 positions into 12th. Goffey up into 13th. Felty Rabbit up into 14th. War Machine up into 15th. Felty down into 16th. Kirko coming all the way from 20th into 17th. Zachariah and Almighty Gob have damage from the first incident which caused this safety car between Zachariah, Gob and Pajala. As we come through, the safety car does not hit. We will have another lap under safety car. As we come through the main straight, multiple other cars pitting. We have Felty coming in for the pits, Zachariah coming in for the pits. As you know, you cannot serve drive-thrus under a safety car or a virtual safety car, so Arthur and Felty have to stay out until after the safety car to serve their pits. Felty and Zachariah, not sure what's going on in here. I believe they may have just gotten themselves new wings. Obviously a little contact there, not 100% sure. But that leaves Zachariah hitting for the second time in 3 laps. Felty and Almighty Gob having to change their wings, setting at the back there. Putting Kirko. Kirko is now not the only one on hard tyres. Almighty Gob opting to change to hards, and same with Felty after them. Zachariah keeping the medium tyres. It's already an interesting one out here in Silverstone. As we wait to see the restart, currently in the 3rd lap of this race, all 3 first laps on the safety car. The running start we will see quite soon as all the drivers line up behind each other coming down the second DRS straight between corners 14 and 15. Big Wellington straight. As the safety car goes into the pit lane, and we come round for the restart. Sept in front, Vettel in second, non-stop in third, and we're off. We're off and racing again. Good start by Vettel. He's catching up onto Sept as we come to the first corner. Really tight racing. All drivers here having the time of their lives. As we have Ollie overtaking Cub back in the 10th position to bring him back up into 10th place. Currently watching Vettel and Sept battle it out at the front, coming into the medium speed corners of this track. Chevy Wolves coming up into 4th, as you saw on the back screen there, but it might be a switchback. currently fighting here, Arthur and Chevy. Arthur still has that drive-through penalty, but he's going to fight regardless. Close behind them, you've got Batman, who's just overtaken Arthur as well, coming through the fastest sector of this track. Everyone fighting relentlessly here on the restart. Now, don't worry about the safety car on top of my screen. That is a spectator's glitch that you cannot get rid of. We are not currently under safety car. As there's a massive fight here between Arthur, Swole and Vettel with the fastest lap as he overtakes Sept. Coming through the first sector, the fastest lap overtaking. It is going to be a battle between Vettel and Sept this race. As we come into lap 5, the second lap that we haven't had a safety car. So technically the second lap of this race. As we come into the first DRS zone, Sept does have DRS, but he will not get the overtaking power on the first straight, keeping it half a second between them. An eighth of a second. Sorry, 8/10 of a second. Non-stop is behind. 5/10 behind him is Chevy. There, see Batman coming down, fighting relentlessly here with Chevy. Cuds in the other Ferrari right behind them, painting on anyone's mistake, coming off the track, just missing the apex there. Both Aston Martins not far behind here, with Swole and Orb just behind there. All the way at the back here, we have Feltzy and Arthur. Not sure why Arthur still has a penalty. Feltzy has taken his drive-through away. Double check here that Arthur has done his step penalty and what this penalty is for. Still has to do a drive-through. Not sure what's happened there. Hello Leo, welcome to the stream. Vettel with another fastest lap, pulling that gap on Sept to half a second, down from 3/10 of a second. Opening that gap, also taking Sept non-stop out of DRS range, leaving the fight between the two top drivers to themselves as we come down the first DRS zone. 6/10 of a second behind is Sept, who has DRS. He may or may not catch up to Vettel, who is putting on a clinic out the front here. Vettel on the soft tyres is throwing out. Sept has the tyres that will... Don't kill it too much, lol. Thank you. Hello Left 4 Dead, my name is Break. I've done commentating for other games such as Rocket League and stuff like that. This is a new experience for me. We're learning as we're going. I hope that I am not stuffing it up too much. As Vettel out of DRS range with Sept, as Chevy and Nonstop fighting for 3rd and 4th at the moment, coming through the final sector of this race. Will Nonstop take the inside line? No, stays behind through corner 15 and 16. Not much in it, less than half a car's worth between them. Vettel hitting a 3rd in a row fastest lap, currently putting the pace on, but he is on the soft tyres and will need to change earlier. We have the two Ferraris almost eating at each other down in 5th and 6th. Goffey unfortunately hit with a track limit warning back down, a track limit penalty, sorry, down in 13th behind War Machine. We have Mr. J Swole currently fighting with Restless Orb down here on the first DRS of the Hangar Straights, coming through the medium corners, slowly catching up. And a fight between the Ferraris is imminent. You got Cuds, Batman, Chevy, and Nonstop all within half a second of each other, coming through into Sector 2. And we're going to see, are we going to see overtake after overtake, as I believe that was Batman overtaking Chevy, Cuds still behind. You would like to be Max in an interview? That's right. Combo Ollie. Combo Ollie is out of this race. As another safety car has come out. Something's happened down here. Not 100% sure. This was down in 13th place. There are multiple cars pitting, as it will be the second safety car of the race. We have Cub coming into the pits, Zach coming into the pits, Gob coming into the pits, Batman coming into the pits. Everyone's coming in. Everyone on the hard and medium tyres are coming into the pits. Not entirely sure what's happened here. Just change of tyres for most. Just change of tyres, just change of tyres. No one's getting a wing put on. Not entirely sure what's happened here. As both Mercedes, the Alpine, Cub, Swole and the Ferrari, who is in third, currently in the pits. Combo Ollie's out of this race. 6 laps out of safety car. And I'm not sure what happened. We will get information. Hopefully. If Ollie is in chat. As we're up to our second safety car of the evening. Also, if Pajala is in chat, I'd like to hear his version of events of the start of this race. Pumpkin Wind, when's the podcast? I mean, honestly, I'd be down for a podcast. Saw him just got straight left on stream. On the shot of the cars coming down the straight, all I saw was a car dart hard. Yeah. I saw the Pajala. There was an incident. There was an incident at the start, and Pajala darted off the track. 2 other cars were involved in that, had to get new wings. Not entirely sure, can't remember who they were, but I witnessed the Pajala incident. Did not witness the Ollie incident. Oh, you saw Combo? I did see something splash, didn't see exactly what it was, just saw him on the track. But thank you, Nemesis, now I know what happened. Might have been contact. Pajala was booted from the game on start. As we hit the 27, just over a third done of this race. Combo's car just started hard left down the straight. Copy that. So it seems we might have a technical issue in the Aston Martin of Combo Ollie. Turning into the wall down the straight. Causing this safety car. He is unable to finish this race. What a beautiful track, Silverstone. My grandma wanted me to do something, even though I said no, she still wanted me to do it. Understandable, Ollie. It's always like that. Pause your game. I can't, it's online. It's okay, Ollie. You've made it more interesting. Unfortunately, you won't be scoring points for us today, but glad you made it this far. As the safety car comes into the pits, we're on for our second restart of the day. with CLM starting at the front. Chevy in second. Restless Orb in third. Sept all the way down in 11th, has opted to pit for the hard tabs. Batman also down in 12th, pitted for the hard laps. J Swell also pitted for the hard tyres. This might be the only, they might be doing a one-stop, and this might be it. Cub and Zachary also down on the hard tyres. Arthur still on the softs, does not have his penalty anymore. Done his drive-through just before the safety car. As we come through on this restart, non-stop staying at the front. No one in the front has pitted just yet. Wrong ones, there we go. As I turn that off for you guys, and I'll put the telemetry back on so you can see the speed of these guys. Non-stop at the front, Orb in second, War Machine in third, Goffey in fourth, Wolves in fifth, Nutsy in sixth, Gob in seventh, eighth is Kirko, ninth is Vettel, and the other McLaren, Felty Rabbit in 10th, Sept, Batman and Swell 11th, 12th and 13th, Cub 14th, Zach in 15th, Cuds in 16th. All the leading drivers of this race have pitted for the hard tyres and are currently sitting at the back. Everyone at the front has not pitted just yet. It's going to be interesting how their strategy goes for the day. Arthur with another penalty. Track limits, not his friend today. As he comes through, and I think I have the glitch. I do. Cannot watch this race in pod mode at this point in time, probably due to the safety car. DRS is enabled as we come through on our first lap without the safety car since the second restart. The RB in front, CLM with the RB, sorry. Orb and War Machine with the two Hasses, second and third. Currently putting a bit of pace on with Goffey down in fourth. Not sure how he got 2.5 seconds behind, but it's going to be an interesting strategy. We'll see how this goes. Caution in Sector 1 as people slowing down at the track. That was gone now. Can I go back into pod yet? I cannot. The Cub getting himself a 3-second penalty, track limits as well. As we see an interesting turn of events. Not sure what's happening between 4th and 10th at the moment. But a massive gap forming between the RB, the Hasses and the Williams car at the front. As everyone opens their DRS, the two Hasses fighting to get as close to CLM as possible, hoping to gain the lead with some fresh, clean air, as the McLaren drivers of the real life say. Clean air is good air. Interesting fights coming down the main straight between Vettel and Nutsy as Felsi gets a 3-second penalty and overtakes. He might have to give that position back to Arthur. Both of them now on 3-second penalties. Cub at the bottom also with a 3-second penalty. As there's a contact between Nutsy and Vettel coming through the 4th corner. Not sure if any damage has come from that, but it was tight. Pod to pod, wheel to wheel. As the McLaren tries to get back in front, but Vettel is not going to let that happen. As the fight for the mid-pack continues, Sept pulling his way back up into 9th after his safety car pit stop. He's going to push to get back up. Only 0.2 of a second behind Nutsy, coming through the fastest part of this track. Sector 2. As we hit the DRS zone, he is close to the Aston Martin. That wing wide open. He has enough ERS to get close. Does he get close enough? He goes side by side, comes through, takes the inside line. Can't keep his composure. Sept coming through now. Over the top. Still behind Nutsy. In that Alpine. Alpine's got some pace today. Coco also coming down the main straight. Nutsy and Vettel still side by side as Vettel gets closer and closer to Goffey, who just locks up on that last corner. We still have 3 seconds between War Machine and Chevy Wolves, leaving that gap getting wider and wider between the podium drivers. As we see the Kick Sauber car getting mighty close to Chevy on the opening medium speed corner. We have Goffey right on the tail of Chevy and Almighty God. Vettel sapped with an overtake. Fighting side by side down the first straight. No DRS on this straight, but Sept clear taking the inside line. Contact between Sept and Nutsy. And Nutsy's taken back. And Sept gets that position. Not sure who's at fault there, because I can't see pod view, but that's okay. Sept back up into 8th. Taking 2nd place in qualifying. Sept back into 8th and Vettel back up into 6th. Restless Orb got a 3-second penalty. Down. The Haas with the 3-second penalty up in 2nd place. Just needs to keep his tyres on the track. Unfortunate for the Haas, but there is a buffer between 3rd and 4th right now. As we see Vettel getting mighty close to Chevy coming through the opening corners of this track, is McLaren versus Red Bull, as Vettel battles it out for 5th place with Mr. Wolves. Coming through, takes the inside line. They're side by side. The Red Bull gets just back in front. It is a 1/10 of a second battle here, as McLaren fakes going on the open. As they come out, we have Goffey on the back line, just going outside the track there. Maybe getting another warning. We're not sure. McLaren breathing down the neck of Red Bull at the moment, in real life and in the game. T4 is a world of chaos, but we're here for it. We're going to watch this fight, because this is the fight of the race at the moment. You've also got Nutsy coming back, falling behind from Batman slowly and slowly as he comes back up just behind Sept. Just behind them is Nutsy, who's back in 10th place after the fight with the Alpine of Sept. But we watch the fight of a lifetime. We bring this down. It is Vettel and Wolves coming through, breathing down each other's neck. Red Bull trying to get up to the kick car. They will both get DRS here as it opens up wide. And it's down the inside. Is the Red Bull and the McLaren going to touch? No. Oh! Contact. Vettel comes on the inside and is taken out. Chevy Wolves back under 5th. Through goes Goffey, who takes that Sept and Vettel back side by side again down into the 2nd sector. Vettel with the damage, I believe, letting Sept through there, slowly losing pace. I'm not sure who's going to be at fault there. They were side by side when the contact happened. If I had my instant replay set up, I could go back and show you, but I cannot. As Arthur takes another penalty. Now up in, here's the current. We got non-stop at the front with Restless Orb right on his tail with a 3-second penalty. War Machine just behind them both. The two Hasses on the podium at the moment, picking up the most points. Chevy in 4th with that unfortunate collision with Vettel. Almighty Gob sitting in 5th, just 2/10 from the Red Bull of Wolves. Goffey sitting a second behind with Sept closing in. The two qualifying podium drivers, Vettel and Sept, on the tail of Goffey. As Batman sits in 9th, 3 seconds behind. Jace Roll behind him. Felty with his penalty, sitting in 11th with the other Mercedes in 12th. Kirko currently sitting in 13th. Arthur in 14th. Cub in 15th. Felty sitting in 16th. Nutsy and Cuds in 17th and 18th. Combo and Pajala, both the two drivers who are out for today. Combo got yelled at by his grandma, and Pajala had an incident in the first lap, leading him to be DNF'd from this race. As we see, a four-way battle happening between 4th and 8th at the moment. Not sure what happened there, but Sept and Vettel both coming up a position. Goffey back down into 8th. Batman trying to close the gap between 8th and 9th right now. Caution on Sector 3. As I'm not sure who it was, but I believe people are coming into the pits. Yes, Non-Stop and War Machine both coming into the pits, bringing Sept and Vettel back up into 4th and 5th. Chevy in 3rd, Almighty Gob in 2nd, and Restless Orb with his penalty in 1st. Team comms are on point here. That puts War Machine down into 14th for the pit. Arthur also into the pits. Maybe going to serve time for this penalty. Not sure. Only people that haven't pitted yet is Kirko, Chevy, Restless Orb has not pitted yet either, and Goffey has not pitted yet. Most cars, Zach in 10th with 3 stops. He might finish the race on these tires. Most people at the moment sitting on hard tires. Restless Orb on the oldest medium tyres there is, also with Chevy on 16 laps. Sept and Vettel, both on the hard tyres, came in during the safety car, have made their way back up into 5th and 4th. Goffey on the medium tyres. Most people opting for Non-Stop, War Machine and Nutsy all coming in for soft tyres, as we see Restless come in now, bringing Restless Orb with a speeding penalty. That is so unfortunate. The Haas cars now with a 13-second penalty. As we bring Sept and Vettel back up. Vettel coming back out on top of Sept into this lap, coming into 3rd. Chevy, who hasn't pitted yet, is currently sitting in 2nd. With oldest tyres on this whole track. Almighty Gob, who started out this race pitting due to the accident on turn 1. Arthur with another penalty, not sure what's happening there. He needs to keep those tyres on the track. As we see, Almighty Gob has pitted. Chevy Wolves has not pitted just yet. Vettel and Sept, both of them on hard tyres, might finish the race on this side. There's 8 laps to go as we pass the second third of this race. TV pod's still not working for me. I apologise for that. As we see Vettel and Sept going again. I think that was Chevy's. Chevy's gone into pits, his first pit stop of the race. Bringing Sept and Vettel into 2nd and 3rd with Almighty Gob at the front. On his hard tyre, which has been on for 17 laps. He might as well just finish the race on this lap. Almighty Gob in the kit car in 1st. Sept and Vettel, Alpine, McLaren 2nd and 3rd. Batman in the Ferrari in 4th. Both Mercedes 5th and 6th. Coming into the bigs. War Machine with the fastest lap of the race. He's currently sitting in 10th. Putting on the pace, trying to make his way back up the points ladder. Kirko currently overtaking Cub for 8th. Cub in 9th. War Machine in 10th. Non-Stop in 11th. Felty in 12th. Chevy in 13th in the Red Bull. Goffey in 14th. Restless Orb in 15th, Nutsy in 16th, Arthur in 17th, Cuds in 18th, and our 2 DNFs, Ollie and Pajala. Chevy with a 3-second penalty coming out of 12th at the moment. He's just come out of the pits. Currently was in first. He did lead this race at some point. Gob holding on to this top spot with a 2-second gap at the moment, but his tyres are way older, I believe. 6-lap difference between the tyres of Sept, Vettel and Gob. There are 6 laps remaining in the British Grand Prix of Wallaby League Racing. Is this going to be a battle for the ages as Sept is slowly, non-stop with the fastest lap in 8th with the Red Bull. Kick in first, Alpine in second, McLaren in third. As we watch Sept and Vettel battle it out through the first to the second sector of this race. This was the race we were hoping for. Action-packed, filled with accidents, mistakes, penalties, crashes, and everything we all love to see in Tier 4. As we come on to J-Swole and Nonstop, who is currently 6 seconds behind, holding that back. J-Swole coming into the corner. Sorry. Halid. 11, 12, and 13th, just behind the 2 Mercedes. He's going to take that outside line, hopefully through here. As he opens up that wing, both Mercedes fighting to keep J-Swole at bay as we come through the final sector of this race. J-Swole coming in on the outside, doesn't quite make it. Both tyres wing to wing action down here on the final corner. No DRS on the main straight of this, but a very fast right-hander to bring all 3 cars up into within a half a second of each other. As we come back, Vettel on the inside, doesn't quite make it. It's closest. No contact made this time, but he does lose 0.2 of a second, 0.3, sorry. As we come into the final 5 laps. 5 laps to go. It's still anybody's race. Sept and Vettel both closing in on Almighty Gob at 0.2 a second a lap. At this rate, Almighty Gob has this one in the bag, but don't hold out. Mistakes can happen. As we see Mr. Swole coming back in closer and closer to the 2 Mercedes. Does he get a pass? Does he not get a pass? Is Zach going to hold him back to let maximum points come out of Feltzy? War Machine and Oasis currently fighting down the second DRS zone. Open wing. War Machine getting in front. Is he going to back out? He is going to back out. War Machine coming up with a clean DRS overtake. What is the battery for the drivers? I will put that on the screen for you right now. Non-stop with another fastest lap as he is slowly creeping up on his teammate. Trying to get that extra point for fastest lap. Kirko coming into the pits, speeding into the pits. That's both Mercedes and both Red Bulls, sorry. With penalties to their name. Vettel and Sept still fighting it out for 3rd and 2nd at the moment. Not sure if they're going to catch. 4 laps remaining on this race. As we watch the 3 leaders of this race, the podium drivers, coming through the fast sectors right now. Kirko with some nice lines coming through. Just bounces over the apex there. Doesn't seem to be a problem for him holding it up. Sept coming through. DRS wide open. Comes on the outside. Doesn't go for the overtake. Sits behind. Zach, Swole and Feltzy all sitting in the top of the midfield right now. penalties, please. Easy. Got you for that one. Most of them 10 seconds. Restless Orb with a speeding penalty and a track limit penalty. Felsey with a track limit penalty. Cub with a track limit penalty. Wolves also with a track limit penalty, as I believe there's just contact there with Swole. Swole and Felsey making contact through that last thing as they let Zach through, as Felsey has a penalty. And another switchback between Felsey and Zach through the first corner of this race. Swole sitting here close as all. Sorry, Arthur with 3 track limit penalties. Rabbit just getting his 3-second penalty for track limits. Kirko sitting with a speeding in the pit lane penalty, currently in 18th. Now, Almighty Gob pitted early in this race. Is he going to last the whole race on these tyres? I believe so. As this Mercedes are still fighting in the back with each other. Not sure what the plan is there with Felsey with a 3-second penalty. TV pod's still not working. My apologies, guys. As we come back into the final 4 laps of this race. As does Swole go for it? He's on the outside. DRS is open. He sticks it. He's coming in. He gets in front. And he's in between the 2 Mercedes now. Mr. Swole is now in between the 2 Mercedes in 6th. There's a fight for the ages. The RBs versus the Mercedes. As all 4 cars here lock up, it is Mercedes versus Red Bull in the midfield right now. Silver and blue as they come into the first corner of the track. All 4 cars, 280 k's an hour, fastest part of this track. That fastest corner on this track is the first one. As they come down into the first DRS zone, Zach is at risk here with the RBs behind him, but the slipstream of the other RB to Felsey is also a major factor as it closes the gap. All 4 cars within a second of each other as Joey goes on the outside and almost gives up the position to Felsey, taking that a little too wide. As we see Zach coming through. This is a fight for the ages. But within a second now is Vettel to Almighty Gob. The tyres are deteriorating. He's losing time every lap. There are your 3 main drivers at the moment. Fighting through as Non-Stop gets in front of Felsey. RB are out in front of Mercedes right now. As a fight between Felsey and Non-Stop going through. Arthur with another 3-second warning, bringing his penalties up to 12 seconds. A full switch up for the RBs and the Mercedes at the moment. Felsey currently sitting in 10th place due to penalties. War Machine in 8th. Non-Stop in 7th. Zach in 6th. Swole in 5th. Batman in 4th. Seems to be running his own race here. Sept and Vettel 3rd and 2nd, and Almighty Gob holding out as we come into the second last lap of this race. The fight is still on between the kick drivers, the McLaren, the Alpine. As we come into the second main straight down to the fast right-hander of Corpse, coming into the fastest chicanes on the F1 calendar. Sector 2, V-Sept, no, with a 3-second penalty, track warning. Track limits. Now, that is just unfortunate, keeping him into 3rd place with that 3-second penalty. He might fight it, he might not. We will see. Currently standings, Almighty Gob, Vettel, Sept, Batman, then Swole, Non-Stop, then Zach and Felsey. The 2 RBs have now got in front of the 2 Mercedes. War Machine in 9th. 10th is Cub. 11th is Chevy. Orb in 12th. Goffey is in 13th. Set in 14th. Rabbit in 15th. Cuz in 16th. Nutsy in 17th. And 18th is Kirko. As we enter the final lap of the Silverstone Grand Prix, thanks to Wallaby League Racing. we will have Almighty in first, Vettel in second, V-Sept currently sitting in third. It is a battle at the moment as all three cars come out of the first DRS zone. The Alpine and McLaren still fighting at it. The switchback, the inside line, the outside line, both of them fighting relentlessly through the first sector. And Sept coming out on top. Now, Sept does have a penalty, so he's currently still sitting in third place, although it is still interesting to watch them race. As we come through into the second sector, with the fast 280k corners of this track, all three cars giving it everything. A little bit slidey for Almighty God. No problems for him at the moment as we hit the second DRS zone of this track. No one seems to have their DRS open at the moment other than Vettel, but we come into turn 15. Coming out, no lockups, perfect corner as the rain starts, I believe I just saw on my screen. A nice little touch of rain, but we have Almighty God in first, Vettel in second, Sept in third. Batman coming through now, comes off the track and is hit by the RBs. Caution on sector 3. The RBs taking 4th and 5th. The Mercedes coming in front, War Machine in 8th, Batman still in 9th. Going down 11th place, he's out of this race. 6th and 7th is the Mercedes, Haas in 8th. Chevy coming through in 9th, Oasis in 10th. Batman just coming over the line in 11th place. That is going to be fought right there. Rapid claps, thank you for the follow here. Batman getting DNF'd, didn't even come over the line. He is out of this race. That leaves Chevy in 9th, Cub in 10th, Goffey in 11th, Orb in 12th, Arthur in 13th. In 14th, sorry. And that's the race. Driver of the day, Almighty God. Thanks to everyone who voted. Rapid claps, subscription. Thank you for that one. Enjoy the emotes. Welcome to Wallaby League Racing. An interesting race at a T4 today. Drama on the last lap, drama in the first lap. We had fights all the way through as Kick, Take, and Almighty God take the podium here today. McLaren with Vettel in second and V-Sept in the Alpine in third. A great race from everyone today. The RBs overtaking the Mercedes in the last lap of this race, put them 4th and 5th. Mercedes 5th and 6th. We had 3 DNFs, Ferrari, Aston, and... Ooh, I apologize. Aston, Ferrari, and Red Bull. Wait, where'd they go? No points scored today. So we have Almighty Gob scoring, getting second in the sprint and first in the race. We have V-Sept getting third in the race and second in the sprint. J Swell getting third in the sprint and coming 4th in the race. Vettel coming second in the race and third in the sprint. Lots of points for multiple teams today. We will try and get Gob, if you can hear me, come into the chat and we'll get you started. Also, if we get Sept and Vettel into the interviews section, I'd like to have a chat with you guys. Mr. Gob. How are you, sir? Tanked. It was an interesting race. What was your strategy coming into this one? I did see that. They did. You were sticking to that track, and it was a great thing to watch. How did you feel seeing Vettel and the Alpine and the McLaren chasing you for the rest of that at the end of that race there?
I had good pace. I felt fast there, even with the slides. I was just like, just get me to the line.
Good.
Please, Lord, just get me to the line.
And your car was very good, and it stuck to the track. Anyways, you enjoy that win. I'm going to talk to the other two boys now. If Vettel could unmute himself. You have a great night, Gold.
Yeah, cheers. Well done to the other boys.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Yeah, good race, bro.
Mr. Vettel, how are you feeling after that one?
Holy, I'm stressed. I can breathe now.
It was a very intense race between you other two boys coming in.
It was.
You had an average of 0.15 seconds of use together that entire race. I did the math in my head. You were breathing each other's air that entire race, and it was great to see. There was a bit of contact coming through Corpse, where you did end up off the track a little bit there. You did make it back, but how did you feel about that one?
I honestly don't remember it, but I know we were a bit pushy most of the race, but you know, we were battling side by side literally the whole race. We were 30 hundredths of a second between each other in qualifying. So I guess that's what racing's about, and yeah, luckily no one ended up in a wall.
Luckily, no one ended up in a wall. It was a great thing to see. You boys fought hard. Anyway, you enjoy the points. You enjoy the
Thank you.
second place. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Alright, you too.
Do you
Thank
have
you.
any bets for Singapore tonight?
Well, I'm a Norris fan, so hopefully we can stick it on pole, stay on pole, and stay first the whole race. But I feel like Max will probably catch up to him lap one.
I feel like that might happen too. Anyway, you have a good night. I will talk to you, Zara.
You too.
Head up.
Alright, ladies.
Mr. Is it Sept? How do I say it? I've been saying Sept.
Yeah, Sept, or just say Aiden.
Yeah, that works. Mr. Sept, how do you feel about that last few laps where you battled it out? The unfortunate 3-second penalty for you coming off the track, putting you into third place, but a still great race from both of you. You and Vettel fighting that entire race from qualifying, sprint, everything. It was literally down to tooth and nail, and I think that penalty stuffed it for you, but that's okay. You still were up there in the podium.
Yep.
How do you feel about that one?
It was a bloody good race.
It was.
As you said, was really close in qualifying. Off the start, I mean, it was a bit pushy, but wasn't bad. Near the end, we were getting a bit pushy, but it's just racing. We were just rubbing.
The safety car towards the middle of the race, did that have any effect? I saw you both came in and you were both down in 14th and 15th. Did you ever think you were going to come back to get second and third?
Yeah, because I knew pretty much everyone else would have to box.
Yeah. We had Kirko at the start. He ran 90% of that race without stopping, and I was kind of scared he wasn't going to stop. But you did make it through.
He was trying to pull a Ricardo at Baku.
Yes. Yes, he was. Anyways, thank you for that one. Enjoy the rest of your night. If everyone stays on the Twitch, Tier 3 starts in 7 minutes. I am out. You will have a different commentator for Tier 3. You guys enjoy your night, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you, Sept.
Alright.
See ya.
See ya.